Welcome back to another episode of the Stoic Trading Psychology Podcast, traders. I'm FX Telepath, your host, aka Kevin. Well, actually, my name is Kevin, aka FX Telepath. We have another interview with a real trader today. We've done one before with another fellow trader before, so make sure you guys go check that out. Obviously, the goal of this podcast is to help you guys understand the reality of trading and kind of put to rest the nonsense that we see on social media of what trading seems to be about with all the flashy Lambos and quitting your 9 to 5 and all that stuff. So that is the goal of this Stoic Trading Psychology podcast. And today we have actually one of the members in my Discord group, Alex, who's been, I'm not sure how long you've been in the group, Alex.
Hello, I think since January or February or something like this.
Okay, so coming up on a year, basically 10 months now. Okay. Yeah, cool. So Alex has been in the group. He's been submitting his homework pretty much on a weekly basis. And, I've seen Alex turn into a pretty good trader. So probably one of the best in the group. So how long have you been trading for, Alex? So you've been in the group for 10 months, but were you trading before that, or what were you doing before that?
Yeah, I started trading like almost 3 years ago or something like this, but nothing too crazy, nothing too profitable or something like this. I had the journey of every trader, I could say this. You have a period of time right in the beginning where you make some money and you think, whoa, this is going to work. And then you I don't know, go through a very bad period of time where you're not even on break even. And I think this is the journey that every trader has.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Like I remember my first Forex trade, rather. My first trade was not in Forex. It was like in a marijuana stock or something. It was just typical hype. But my first trade, I think it was a New Zealand JPY. And yeah, it was a winning trade, and I was like, "Wow, let's go! This is it's pretty easy.
I will be rich soon," or something like this.
Yeah, I've thought before too. Like, for somebody to take their first trade, is it better for that to be a winner, or is it better for it to be a loser? Right? I personally, it's tough because I want to say it's good to have a winning trade first, like your first trade ever, because then it gets you kind of excited about trading, and maybe it really shows you the power of it. But then it could also give you like a false reality and what to expect. And then if your first trade's a losing trade, it might kind of discourage you. So honestly, as long as you risk 1%, whether it's a winning trade first or losing trade first, it doesn't really all matter that much to me. But so you've been trading for 3 years, but it's like you weren't trading seriously before the last 10 months, or?
I was trading serious, but I didn't have, I don't know, good results,
right?
Or someone.
What strategy were you trading before?
I was trading some combination between Fibonacci levels and moving average and support and resistance and all these things combined together.
Right.
I think every trader starts with this or something like this.
Yeah, you're right. I started with support and resistance like for a little bit, like not very long, and then luckily I don't know, I forget, I just heard about supply and demand trading. I'm like, well, supply and demand, that's how the markets work, right? So I'm like, that's got to be probably objectively one of the better strategies, and in my opinion, it still is. But, you're in the group, I've talked about it many times, where even people in the Discord group, they'll post a winning trade, and it's not supply and demand trading, and, the odd time I will tell them, like, look, it's not supply and demand trading. Whatever you're doing is working for you, so continue to do it. It's not supply and demand, and that's fine. So I'm always truthful in my opinion when I'm saying, any strategy really can work. It's all really, I mean, I still think there are better strategies than others. I think catching a falling knife when your weekly, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour is all in the downtrend and there's no demand zone or anything. I don't know. I don't see how that could be too profitable, but a lot of it is just a mental game, and I'm sure you're starting to realize that now. So been trading for a couple years. Are you I know what you do, but just for everyone who doesn't know, are you a swing trader, day trader? What do you do?
I'm a swing trader. Swing trader. Yeah.
I think I thought I saw you taking a couple day trades in the group. Maybe I'm wrong.
Not too many.
Okay.
Maybe 1 or 2. But...
Right. So why Why are you a swing trader? Is there a reason why, or that's just what you like?
Mostly because, as you know, I'm working a 9 to 5, so my daily program is pretty packed up, so I can't stay all the time in front of the charts.
Yeah.
I don't know why it suits for me better if I'm a swing trader.
For sure.
That's what I'm doing.
So so what time frame are you entering on? Is it the 4 hour or the 1 hour? Is it both?
The 4 hour and the 1 hour.
Okay. Yeah.
And
So
I'm 15, but
yeah,
my
it's
H1 is my favorite to say.
the H1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also like the H1. The issue is sometimes the H1, like I think there's a USD Swiss setup. There's an H1 and an H4, pretty much, and the size of the H1 was just a little bit smaller than the H4. So in my opinion, I would just take the H4 in that situation.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. We have a supply on H1 and on the H4 is kind of the same.
Yeah.
I might take the H4 supply.
Yeah,
anywhere,
like
but
the only time I will maybe just take the H1 is if it's like significantly smaller than the H4, where it's like kind of like a totally separate trade. That's kind of how I view that. But I've told members, like, I think you are good enough where you can trade both of those time frames. But I try to tell the newer members, especially people who have just new to trading in general, just stick to one time frame and master that. And then not only does it just make it like easier, it also just, like, let's say you're just going to trade the H4, you're going to have to learn patience, and like that's a big part of trading is being patient. So I think it's a great time frame, the H4 and the H1. So
when you don't have a setup on the H4, so not a lot of people are used to that.
For sure, and everybody wants to day trade too, because let's say you start swing trading and you make a reasonable, I don't know, 2% a month or something like that. It's like, okay, well, 2% a month, that's with 10 trades. But if I can take 30 trades, the math would say I can make 6 to 8% a month, right? And that is true in a way. But when obviously day trading it's a totally different game in my opinion, and you have to be on the charts. And then the problem with day trading as well is when you go to backtest, you pretty much have to only take trades within your sessions. So for me personally, I know our time frames are different, mine and yours. But for me personally, if I was going to day trade, it would only be during the New York session. If I was going to trade the London session, that would mean that I'm up throughout the whole night. And I'm a big circadian rhythm kind of guy. I don't know if you know what that is, but I believe in sleeping at night. So, I have to only trade the New York session if I was going to day trade.
I'm pretty lucky in this matter because I catch the London session and the New York session as well. So
yeah, your time. Where are you located at? If you don't mind telling everybody.
In Romania.
Romania. Okay, yeah. So I don't know my geography too well. So right now it's 11:15 a.m. for me. What time is it for you?
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Yeah. So your time zone, you can kind of catch both, eh?
In the morning, the London session, and in the afternoon, the New York session. So
yeah, that's honestly that's like perfect.
That's like perfect scenario.
Yeah, like if I didn't love my country and where I live and family, that'd be a great trading location. Just because, even for swing trading, because a lot of the times I will get I'll wake up to like my notifications on my trading app. It'll be limit order filled, and then sometimes stop loss hit or take profit hit, and it's like, damn, if only if I was up I could have got more out of that trade, or if only if I was awake I could have put my stop to break even and prevented that loss, because that's what I wanted to do. So that's kind of like the perfect time zone. I didn't really realize that. But so you're purely trading supply and demand now, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah, because Alex is in our group. He's always posting his trades. I mean, if anybody follows me on Instagram, I'm always posting his nice setups. And it's funny how you've been in the group for 10 months now, and I could probably, send you a chart, and I would expect that, our zones would be probably pretty similar.
Probably.
Yeah, just due to the chain analysis. And another thing I wanted to touch on too is how September was not really a great month. I know it seemed like it wasn't a great month for you.
Not at all.
It seems like it was not a good month for most people, and
except for the gurus.
Except for your favorite online trading guru, with the Lambo and $50 into 500K, all that stuff. But so I have some questions, obviously. So as far as psychology goes, like what was the biggest hurdle that you started to face when trading?
I think one of the biggest, like everybody says, psychology is one of the most important things in trading, and you have to have real expectation. You can't expect to make, a lot of money in the, first year, second, third. It may happen. Nobody says that you can't. But, the expectation, I think, is a big factor in this. So, we have to train your brain to, I don't know how to say it, but to keep a real expectation about it.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Like
sorry.
No, nothing. I was just going to touch on that. Yeah, the expectations are obviously a huge part of trading. Like, there's so many great analogies. Like, you go to golf. Like, do you ever golf at all or no? I don't know if golfing not too popular in Romania or
no, not at all.
Really? Like, do you guys have any golf courses at all?
No, I don't know of them.
Really?
I don't think. Yeah,
crazy. It's crazy how two different countries, totally different things. That's cool. But yeah, so in golf, like, so let's say you have like a 10-foot putt, like a professional best golfer in the world, top 5 golfer in the world might make that putt, like, I think it's like 8% of the time or something, like very low. And then we go golfing me and my bunch of buddies who are drinking beer, right, and smoking cigars, and we're golfing, and they miss a 10-foot putt, or I miss a 10-foot putt. It's like you get frustrated with yourself, and it's like you wouldn't though it's still gonna be frustrating, but if you just understand that, a professional is only gonna make that putt 1 out of 10 times. Like, you're only making that, if a professional makes it 1 out of 10 times, you're only making it like 0.25 out of 10 times or whatever. I'm just kind of making the math up on the top of my head. So those going into a round of golf or going into trading with those real expectations definitely just helps. And then it just, I don't know, it helps so much, because even if you make money a month, let's say you make 3% in that month, and you're like, oh, this needs to be more. It was a good month, but I need to make more. It's like, then that can just lead to damage, because then you're over risking. And then when you're over risking, you could go through a bad drawdown, just like we had in September. And if you risk 2%, that drawdown just becomes twice as worse, right? So I think,
and then you might do your trading or something, and you blow your whole account. And
yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I think just in life in general, just having realistic expectations is always going to help you, even every time you get in the car.
About anything, not just about trading.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I always say, every time you get in the car, tell yourself people are going to be on their phones driving like morons and just not paying attention, and you just got to kind of expect that. Like, I was literally driving yesterday in the city where I live, which I usually don't do, and I'm not doing it ever again. But I was driving, and the woman behind me just almost smoked my car because she hit another car, and I'm like, I kind of just laughed it off at this point. I'm like, I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised. And it's kind of the same thing with trading, right?
Yeah.
I've had people message me on Instagram in the group like, thanks, Kev, just joined. I'm up 5% this month or whatever, and I'm up 3 trades in a row, and I'm always like, very good, congrats, happy it's working for you.
In 2 or 3 months.
What's that?
To see how the people are writing you that they are up 3% in, I don't know, in the first week or something like this.
Oh yeah.
Well, we'll talk about it in 1 month, 2 months.
Exactly. It might not even take that long, right? It might be just the next week. So I always tell them, like, that's great, happy for you, keep going, keep doing exactly what you're doing. Just, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't tell you, just kind of lower those expectations a bit. This isn't, maybe not normal, right? Going through, like, if your win rate is below 50% and you go on a 3-win, if your win rate's below 50% and you go on a 3-win streak, you could definitely expect a loss the next trade. Technically, anything can happen on the next trade, but just the results will show us that you can expect to go, on a downturn here, and that's what I always try to remind people of.
Mine is actually below 50% the win rate. So
Yours is?
yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Oh, how are you even profitable then, right? That's like if you tell if you just tell the average person on the street that, they don't see, like, I've told people that, and they just look at you like you're kind of like a fool, and it's funny because they just don't understand, right?
yeah.
So how did your how did your mindset evolve as you gain more experience? Was it mostly just the expectations side of it? Was that like the big evolution you had with your mindset?
And I learned to be more patient, to, I don't know, to search for the best trades. Although, as you say many times, I don't know, the best zone can fail and the worst zone can work. And I had to learn that by hard way,
For sure.
to say it. And I don't know, just the real expectation and the patience and every skill that you probably need in order to be profitable in the market.
For sure, yeah. Patience is definitely a big one. So when you lose a trade now, are you like looking at it in depth, or are you mostly just, yeah, okay, it's just a loss?
Just journal it.
Okay.
I just journal it, and I write down why I took it, how the time frame were. Is there any way I could avoid it or something like this? But I don't put too much, I don't know.
Right. So you take like a screenshot and like take some notes.
I take a screenshot, take some notes, write down why I took it, photos, and
nice.
Move on.
What do you use, like an Excel or something like that, or?
I use some sort of free program called Stoic Journal or something like this. I just on the internet, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think journaling when you first start is like really important for me now.
It was a huge,
huge for
step
sure
for me, journaling.
Yeah, definitely. Even just like tracking stats of like how many trades are winning with the trend, right? The whole reason I prefer trading with the trend is because of my journals. The whole reason I don't short the S&P is because of my trading journals, right? And then obviously sometimes things are going to go not in your favor. I mean, I know this is just an audio podcast, but I know you can see my screen, like this 1 hour short trade here. That would have been a nice trade, but I don't short it, and I just have to accept it. So sometimes you're going to have rules, and then you would have done well if you broke that rule, but
once you broke it, you will break it again and again, and not every time will be good for you.
Yes, exactly. So how did you develop the discipline necessary to stick to your trading plan? Was it, I'm going to guess it was probably just time, right?
Yeah, time, and seeing how many trades I lost when I was not disciplined and stuff like this. So I had to take a step back and think, okay, I need to really pay more attention, to be more disciplined, to follow my rules no matter what, to don't break any rules, and just stick to my strategy and try to find the best trades possible.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a solid plan. And just having, like, consistency is so important. Like, there's so many athletes that have the same, like, pregame rituals. I don't know, like, at least, I don't know what sports you watch, but at least with hockey, they do a lot of things where it's like they get to the arena, and then they get a quick pump in on the machines, and then they tape their sticks, and then they go on a bike and get their legs moving, and then I don't know, a lot of them will do like team stretches, and then like they'll do keep the ball up with the team, and it's just all of a pregame ritual. And obviously, they're gonna have bad games, but it's about that consistency. Because they find something that works for them. So, and it's the same thing with me with golf too. Every time I take a shot, I have pretty much the same routine. I'm a better trader than I am a golfer, but so my routine, my pre-shot routine is changing kind of over time, but I have a general set of a pre-shot routine just to keep it the same. And that's what I like with trading too, at least with the chain analysis that we talk about and that we do on Sundays. And for anybody who doesn't know what that is, it's basically just drawing. So every zone either moves an opposing zone or trend line. I'm not going to get into too much detail on all that, but basically it prevents you from having every single zone. And then obviously you've seen the questions that I get from members. It's like, well, why isn't this a zone? And it's simply it appears to be a zone. It looks like a zone. It is a zone in a way, but for me personally, then I'm just having every single zone. And then just by doing my chain analysis and having my rules, yes, it will prevent me, from having some pretty good zones and some would have been nice trades. But when I have my rule-based system, it just allows me to not worry about that too much, where it's like, oh, okay, I should have drawn that zone. And that's not my thought process. It's like, well, I couldn't draw that zone because it didn't align with my rules. So it's not like I'm upset that I didn't get the zone. It's just that I can't draw that zone because it did not align with my rules.
Follow your rules.
Exactly. And I just think that having that consistent thought process and rules, it just makes things so much easier than, like, imagine you had to wake up every day and trade and it's like you were just trying something new every day. I mean, that's fine. I was kind of doing that for a bit too. But, I just think it's so much better having that rule-based system. And obviously things are going to be, like we've talked about in the group as well, where it's like that zone's borderline. It's so close to not being a zone. And like that's going to happen as well. And, that's what people need to realize. Yeah, we have rules. Will I break my rules? Maybe the odd time I will break my rules, and it's not good. I'm not saying it's a good thing to do. But I don't know. I feel like I'm just going on a rant here, but anything you wanted to touch on that with the whole chain analysis and everything? Do you think that's really helped you?
Yeah, a lot. Really a lot.
Yeah, and I think it's, for my opinion, that's where that's like my edge. I mean, my edge is my discipline, and that combined, in my opinion. But those rules help you stay disciplined. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
The markets are full of supply and demand zones, but as you say, not every zone is tradable.
For sure.
You have to narrow down those zones and try to find the best zones.
Yeah, and then another thing that I find a lot of people struggle with is, you have a level on top of level, and both zones are pretty good, and they don't know. What's that?
The common question is which one do you take?
Oh, exactly. And I've thought about that too. It still is tricky, especially when you get like 4 zones or something. Like that's when it really kind of sucks. When it's like 2 zones and they're pretty good, like natural gas was a great example here. So it was a winner, and we had these 2 4-hour levels here. Winner, loser. And in my opinion, the one lower was much better than this one. I know you can. I don't know if you can see my screen, but the lower one was better than the top one. And in this situation, in my opinion, both are tradable. So I just don't think about it too much. If one is blatantly better than the other, and like the one above is kind of just, it's mid, yeah, okay, then I'll take the lower one only. But if both zones are good, I'm confident in my strategy, and I understand the long game, so I will typically take both.
And let your risk reward do the job.
Exactly, yeah. Just let the risk reward do the talking in the long run. But then people have a hard time with that because, again, based off of the thumbnails they're seeing on YouTube and what these trading gurus are saying, they're thinking a loss. No, what do you mean a loss? That's no such thing as a loss. Like, how can I make 15,000% in a month if I take a loss, right? So again, it's funny how it all ties in. It's just those expectations and everything. It all ties in. So anybody who's listening who is like brand new, like let's say they haven't even traded yet at all, what advice would you give them?
To stick to their plan, to watch the charts daily, even if you don't take a trade or something like this. Just be there every day, put the work, I don't know, at least 1 hour, or I don't know, but just be there, watch the markets, keep your chain analysis if you have one, just observe the markets. It will help you tremendously in the future. And give yourself time. So there are some people who, I don't know, they can make money in the first month. There can be, but don't be, too upset or something like this if you see that the time is passing and you didn't make anything, because it's one of the toughest, not jobs, but things to do.
Yeah, it's definitely it's not easy. It's not it's one of those things where, yeah, you can click a button and make 15 grand in a minute, but it's not that easy. And that's what people...
That takes a lot of time and dedication to do.
Yeah, and that's why I've touched on it before on this podcast, where it's like, you got to get a good job because you need to fund your account. Yeah, the prop firms are great. The issue with the prop firms is, from my understanding, I mean, I know there was a big trader out there. I'm not going to name names, just, I don't know, for the sake of legality, I guess, but where they were trading with the biggest prop firm. Again, I'm not going to say which prop firms. And they were profitable on the prop firm, and then they basically just outright banned them because they make more money, off of you failing a challenge. And it just seems like these prop firms, like even when you pass them and you're successful, it's like, seems like the fees eat up your profits. And I don't know, it seems a decent route. But a lot of the problem with the prop firms is that these traders pass a prop firm and they think that they're like, oh, I'm a good trader now. And like typically, like I would love to know, I don't know if I can find the stats. I would love to know the stats on people who lose their account after passing the prop firm. It's got to be huge because again, I am a profitable trader. However, I could start a challenge, right? And I could literally not pass that challenge because it's just in the sequence of time where I started, I happen to be going through a drawdown. It could also be the case where like I passed the challenge in like 3 days, which in my opinion, if I were to do a challenge, I don't think it would take me 3 days. It would take me way longer than that, especially with my risk management. So again, it's just that the prop firms, they seem decent, but I personally think like the best way to learn how to trade and actually build this skill, which you will have with you for life, is to take it slow. It is a long game. I always tell people, work on yourself in real life as well. If you are young, work on your career. I'm not sure what you do for work. We don't have to talk about it, but obviously you were messaging me earlier. I'm just getting back from my 9 to 5. We can do the podcast, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's great. It will only fund your trading account because I've said it before. If you make 100% a year and you start with $500, you could be trading profitable for 5 years and your account's still, somewhat small. I know it's a lot of money for some people, but in reality, if you're making 10% a year, you need to have a pretty large trading account. And even myself, I'm still funding my trade. I'm still putting money into my trading account. It's not just all of my trading results, and it's just so that I can make more. But again, I'm just trying to touch on the point of work on yourself too, right? Like there's no need to, if you're in college and you're studying for whatever degree you want to get, to do whatever job you want to get, fulfill that, do that. This is just something that you can do on the side. And again, maybe it can supplement your income. Maybe it's supplementing your income where you can take half the year off if your boss allows it or whatever you're doing for work. So it's just, I'm trying to get people the realistic idea. And the reality is a lot of these people, they literally look 15 years old. I'm sure they're actually 18, 19. And they have all these cars. And it's like literally, it's probably rented or it's just their dad's. That's my honest opinion. Like I have a few friends, so I don't know. I don't talk about my personal life too much, but I come from a middle class home, nothing crazy. My parents were not rich. My parents were always good with money. Like they're definitely well off, right? But that's from hard work and just working for over 30 years. Luckily enough to have 2 parents in the household and everything, so they taught me a lot of good stuff. But I didn't come from a rich family, nothing like that. There's nothing that I could have. Well, I haven't lived at home in over a decade, but there was nothing I could have used of my family's. I would be like, oh, look at this. Like I guess I could have showed my dad's fishing boat or something, but that doesn't really get the clicks. But I just think a lot of these people are just using their parents' stuff, like their cars and stuff. Like I have a couple buddies whose parents are very wealthy, and I could literally just ask them, hey guys, I'm going to come to your house when you're gone on vacation, and I'm going to bring 15 sets of clothes, and I'm going to use their cars and just act like I live here. And it's just like I have content forever now. And it's just, I think that's what a lot of these people are doing. I'm just going on a rant now about them, but and it just gives people the wrong idea of like, well, you're going to trade and then you're never going to have to work again. And in reality, that's probably not the case. It's all, in my opinion, life is about having as many streams of income as possible because you never know what goes wrong, right?
Exactly.
And then again, funding your trading account is huge. And I'm sure that's probably what you're doing with your job. And then there's nothing wrong. Like, it depends on your life goals too. For me personally, I want to, I'm trying to be as financially free as possible, and trading is one way to do that, right?
Yeah.
So what are your goals with trading? Like, are you trying to just supplement your income, grow your account while funding your account? Like, what would be, like, what would be your dream end goal?
For now, just to supplement my income, and I don't know, try to be as consistent as I can. And I don't know, in the future, if the things go really well, who knows? But just for now, just to supplement my income.
Yeah.
I like my job. So I'm fine with that.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. That's like one thing people need to get out of their head is like, you wouldn't believe how many people it's like, I have $20. Can I join your group? It's like, you have $20. Like, you should just be like, you need to go like get a better job or try to get a better job or like do something where like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. Like, what do you expect to do here with trading? You know what I mean? And I'm always honest with them. Like, do not join my group. Like, please do not join my group. You do not need to be in my group. You can learn for free if you want, but you need to be bettering your life skills. And I don't know, I would like for me to, obviously my channel is all about trading and stuff, but the podcast, I would like to help people out just kind of in general too. And I think just trying to level up your character in so many different ways other than just trading can just benefit your trading as well.
Yeah, that's very true.
Okay, so I don't know, we've gone for quite a bit here. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about before we wrap it up?
Not really, just to tell everybody that to stick to their plan, to follow their rules, to journal it, because for me, like I've said, the journaling was, I don't know, the biggest holy grail that I could find or something like this, because it shows you what works, what doesn't, when to take trades, when don't take them. I don't know, even let's say for my journal, I've noticed that when I take trades on Friday, I don't know, nothing works for me personally. For example, I have a stats also by day, by hour, by everything. I don't put too much weight on it, but I look sometimes, and I've just watched it on Friday. I don't think I have a winning trade or something like this.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot, to be honest. And I don't even really have stats on that, so I'm glad that you are looking at that. I wonder if it has anything to do with like NFP and stuff like that.
I don't think so, because I don't trade the NFP and all those big news, but I don't know, there's just something about that day. I don't know.
Yeah, and honestly, it could be something that we will never understand. I don't know. I'm just spitballing and making this all up. Let's say there's some sort of algorithm that the market follows or whatever. It might be on Friday. It's not the same as Monday to Thursday. Like, I don't know if that's the case, but there might be something like that. And it's like, if you have a set of 300 trades in your journal and it's like Friday, your win rate is like 10%.
Just avoid the day and
then just avoid
on.
Literally just avoid the day. And
even if you see the best setup, the best demands or supply zone, just get over it.
Yeah, and again, you don't even have to understand why, because it might not even be something that we can understand. Matter. Yeah, exactly.
Start telling you to don't trade that day, move on, do something else.
Yeah, it's funny. I've heard that on for Fridays. I personally, maybe I need to start tracking that data. Like the issue, it's not really an issue, but I don't really journal too much anymore. And I mean, I guess that's bad advice to be giving people. I'm not saying to do that, but I've been doing this for quite a while now. Like I've figured things out from my journal. It's probably no excuse. I probably should continue to journal. One reason is because maybe I could get better. Maybe I could better my results. I will still write things down and screenshot some things, but typically now, my journaling was already done. But again, it's not. I should still be doing it, because then you might be able to find things out like, oh, Fridays after 12 or afternoon or whatever might not be the best time to trade. So it's good that you're doing that, especially when I know you're not just first starting out, but journaling definitely very important. And even journaling, everyone's, journal your emotions, but eventually you don't even have to do that, because eventually you probably just won't be trading when you're on tilt, because you'll know better.
Yeah. And also the best days that I've noticed are on Tuesday and Wednesday. And don't take trades based on that, but it gives you a little bit of confidence, let's say so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder what that is. You know what I mean? I don't, maybe it's, I couldn't tell you what that is, but again, like I said,
I'm not trying to understand this.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, it'd be nice. I would like to know, and it might even work out where maybe for some weird reason on Fridays you're just in a drawdown, right? Just like you can be in a drawdown in general. Maybe on Fridays you're in a drawdown, and maybe on Tuesdays you're on a nice win streak, and maybe it will eventually, as you journal more trades, maybe it will kind of flatten out like that imbalance, right? Maybe it will kind of flatten out, and maybe Fridays will be profitable for you one day. Who knows? But you won't be able to tell if you don't journal it, right?
Yeah, I think the volumes are a little bit lower on Friday, and maybe that's one cause or something. I don't know.
It makes sense to me, right? If you're the biggest banker, maybe they have the day off, or whoever's placing the trades. I don't know. Again, I don't really know how the banks and all that work and exactly what they're doing. But I was thinking about this last night. It's like everybody is all obsessed about fundamentals now, and I just don't like. I just like to see what's on the charts. That I don't know about you. I know fundamentals they're important. The fundamentals move the market 100%. The market doesn't move just because green candle and red candle. The markets move because of fundamentals, but that might not affect your 2-to-1 setup, right? If you're trading counter trend and Trump's saying a bunch of stuff about the dollar, which is bullish for the dollar, you can still take a counter trend short trade. It might not matter that much. So everyone seems to be all about the fundamentals now, and I get it. But for me personally, I like to just trade the charts. If I see price explode from a certain area, if I see, again, I'm just making up numbers, if I see, let's just say a stock is at $3, and then from that $3 price point, it explodes to $3.50 with one big green candle, I know for a fact that buyers took control at that $3 price point so much that price shot up. And then the logic behind that is, okay, there could be some leftover buy orders down there, or if price does pull back down to there again, they may see value in that price point again. So I don't know. I think having a logical system like that definitely helps with trading psychology as well. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, in my view, the fundamentals came like a confirmation to your technical analysis or something like this. When there's nothing crazy in the market, like we've seen, I don't know, this week or in September.
Yeah, September especially, yeah.
But if you did your technicals right, I think that the fundamentals should come like a confirmation or something.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I haven't really back tested or tested fundamentals out too much. But again, when you've been doing it for a while, it's hard to kind of change things up. Like I've had people in the group message me like, "Oh, you should be doing this and that." I'm like, and I'm always like, "Look, I am not doubting that you have something here, but I don't know. It works for me. Like I would never tell somebody like, don't do that. Like let's say all of a sudden 2 weeks from now, you're like, actually, I trade support resistance now, and it's working way better for me. I'm not gonna be like, oh wow. I'm gonna be, wow, that's awesome. I'm glad you found it out. So I don't know. Trading is a weird one where everybody gets very defensive of their strategy, and I never really understood why. I mean, the only time I'll get a little defensive is like if they tell me, oh, this is supply and demand. It's like, okay, not really, right? But yeah, I don't know. Trading is weird, especially creating content, because you'll get comments. I get comments all the time. It's like, oh, you're an idiot. Why would you draw the trend line there? And I don't know. It's all about having your own rules. That's my big thing. And I have people join the group and they try to implement other things in the group and it's like, this is a supply and demand trading group. Again, I'm sure there's people who have joined my group just to learn about supply and demand, and then maybe they use it in their strategy that they are building. One example is maybe they just have higher time frame zones, and like on a daily, and then they only trade inside those higher time frame zones, and maybe they trade support and resistance inside those zones or whatever. It doesn't matter as long as it's working for you. That's what I always try to get through to everybody. And then obviously I think the biggest point as we wrap up this podcast, I think the biggest point is just the expectations. That's the biggest point in my opinion. And then you can always just risk more. That's what I try to tell people as well. Like, you could, if you have a profitable system, you could just risk more eventually. I'm not saying do that right away. You also have to have data on like what's your biggest drawdown you can have too, right? Like obviously September would have been twice as worse if you were risking twice as much. But I get
down like 6 or 7% or something like this.
Yeah, it was not. I was down a few percent as well. But October for me has been pretty good, so I have no complaints. And then honestly, sometimes you just get lucky. Like sometimes I'll go golfing and I will literally forget to set an order, and I don't, and then the price blasts through the zone. I'm like, okay, like so I do think luck does play a part. And nothing crazy where like let's say you make 25% a year, and then I make 28 or I make 23% or something like that. Extra couple percent might just be a little bit of luck where it's like, oh, like you got married a couple weekends ago, you didn't take any trades and that prevented you from a loss on the euro and the yen or something like that. So there is a little bit of luck involved, but it definitely is not your whole system. Luck will just kind of make you either lose a couple percent or gain another couple percent. Exactly. And I think it's obviously it's part of trading as well. There's been times where I'm looking for my 1-to-1 and price just blasts off from the zone. It's like, okay, what a bonus, right? That 1-to-1 has really turned into something better. So anyways, as we wrap up this, is there anything else you wanted to tell anybody who is listening?
No, just like I said earlier, just stick to your plan and I'm sure everything will be fine.
For sure. And I mean, I've seen your trades, your winners and your losers, and you know, you're always trading at those good zones, right? I never really see any of your trades. I think there was that one Swiss zone the other day, or what was it? Was it the Aussie? It wasn't a super great zone. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The
Swiss, yeah. That one there. I don't know. I thought that one was like kind of mid, but I don't know. It all, to me, your trades all look very, very, it reminds me a lot of myself where like the trades all look kind of the same, right? Mm-hmm. And it is funny how in the chain analysis, it's like we can kind of get the exact same zones. And I think that's cool.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay. All right. So I think we will wrap this podcast up. I appreciate you doing it. And like I said, guys, Alex is a member in the group. But you know, he's not just in the group in the shadows. He's always participating, always posting charts, participating in the Sunday meetings, right? And I don't know, for me, it seems like you were always interested, like you're actually interested in it and learning it and not just kind of going through the motions. And I think that kind of has helped you too, from my opinion.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that's going to wrap it up. I thought this was a pretty good podcast. Hopefully everybody enjoyed it. And remember, guys, this is, you know, Alex is working 9 to 5. He has figured out swing trading is for him. He's not forcing day trades at work when he can't trade. Just question. So like if you wanted a day trade at work, would you be able to do that? Like,
yeah, I think so. Yeah, no
okay.
problem. But I know it's not for me. Just I'm used to swing trading, and I think I will always be like this.
Yeah, it's just it's more stressful. My big thing with trading is just freedom, and like I want to be able to go golfing and not have to be on my phone like waiting for a 1 minute confirmation and looking for a 1 minute day trade as I'm trying to make a putt or something like that. I don't know. That's the goal. The goal isn't to be sitting here on our computers all day. That's for sure. It's to have freedom. And that's why I think day trading is a great way to learn like the charts and get time on the charts. But eventually I think everybody should be making the shift towards swing trading. That is my opinion. It's less fees, less stress. It's just better. I don't know. I'm sure that's what you've figured out as well. And there is more noise. Like I do believe price is fractal, and the same things that will happen on a 1 minute chart will happen on a 4 hour chart. However, Trump's tweet or whatever he's on now, that might affect a 1 minute time frame a little bit more than the 4 hour. So I do think there's some unnecessary noise on the lower time frames that could make results worse, but the volume of trades you might get might kind of trump that. So anyways, I keep going on a rant here, but yeah. So everybody, appreciate you guys all tuning in, and I will see everybody in the next podcast. Thanks, Alex.
You're welcome. Thank you too.